Sometimes blood isn't any thicker than water because I'm going to be honest. Had this been my twin brother, if I had a twin brother, he would have to catch these hands. So in this picture, you see two men and they're both identical brothers. On the left is Kevin Dugar and on the right is his twin brother, Carl Smith. And this Kevin Dugar ended up spending 2 decades in prison behind a crime that his twin brother did. But here's the thing. Clearly, his twin brother did not admit to the crime because Kevin has spent 2 decades in jail. So if we're talking 2 decades, he's been in there since about 2002. I could be wrong. And I'm sure the article is going to explain that. But if we're doing it based on how he's just now getting out, then that would be around the 2002 range. Carl, his twin brother, committed a crime and he's just now admitting to it, which is why his twin brother got out of jail. Now, we've heard stories when it comes to black men being released for a crime that they didn't commit when it comes to the hands of, PC and everything. But it is very rare that you have a story where the reason why your brother is in jail, while a black man is in jail, is because your twin brother committed a crime in which he never confessed to doing, but let his twin brother take the fall for because they're identical. This is one of those things where you can say twinning gone wrong. But I'm going to go ahead now and read this article coming from Insider. A Chicago man who spent 19 years in prison for murder over a 2003, so like I said, it was around the 2002 range, so I was off by a year, shooting, has been released after his identical twin brother confessed to the killings. Kevin Dugar, age 44, which means he's been in there since he was about what, 25? About 25? Walked out of the Cook County prison a free man on Tuesday night and broke down into tears when he was reunited with his family. He is overjoyed to be free, but is also adjusting to a world that is quite different from the world he left 20 years ago when he was arrested for a crime he did not commit. Dugar spent nearly 2 decades in prison after being convicted in a deadly shooting of a rival gang member in Chicago's North Side. A gunman opened fire on 3 people, killing Antoine Carter and wounding Ronnie Bolden. Dugar was convicted in 2005 and sentenced to 54 years in prison, maintaining his innocence throughout. According to The Guardian, Dugar once declined a generous plea bargain because he refused to admit to something he did not do. The Guardian reported that 10 years ago, Dugar asked his identical twin brother Carl Smith if he was responsible for the murder, and Smith denied it. But Smith wrote a letter to him in 2013, finally admitting that he was responsible for pulling the trigger. "I have to get it off my chest before it kills me." Now, see, that's why I said this twin brother would have had to have catch these hands. So you let your brother go to jail for all these years for a crime you know he didn't do, and then when he asked you about it, you denied it, and then had him sitting in jail for a couple more years before you decided to pen a letter and confess that you were the one that did it. This guy let his brother sit behind bars for almost 20 years for a crime he did not do. And he knew he didn't do it. The one on the right, he ain't shit. Point blank, period. 3 years later, in 2016, Smith told a court that he was responsible for the shooting, the Times reported. A judge ruled in 2018 that Smith's admission of guilt was not credible and declined to allow Dugar a new trial. At the time, Smith was serving a 99-year sentence for a home invasion that saw a 6-year-old child shot in the head. Prosecutors denied an appeal because they said that Smith had nothing to lose in admitting to the murder. Wow. So he was already in jail on a life sentence anyway for a whole separate crime. And they was not going to let the brother out because they felt that, he had nothing to lose by admitting this. This brother of his literally ruined his twin's life behind a lie. Another judge reviewed the case, and Dugar's conviction was later reversed by the Court of Appeals following an appeal by the Center of Wrongful Convictions at Northwestern University's Pritzker School of Law, per reports. According to Mail Online, Dugar will stay at a transitional residential facility for 90 days. See, that brother would have to, man, That pissed me off. Like, how could you do that to your own brother? Like, how could you let him sit in prison for a crime he didn't commit and you knew you were the one that did it? That's messed up. Like I said, it's bad enough that we have a lot of black men behind bars now, behind lies from PC, but we got this black man behind bars from the lies of his brother, who's already serving a 99-year sentence for a separate crime. So that just means that this one brother, he just could not act right. He was just for the streets. But I'm glad that he's out, but at the same time, he lost 20 years of his life behind the lie of his brother. Wow. But I'm glad that he maintained his innocence. I'm glad he didn't take a plea deal or anything like that. Them plea deals be messing people up. So, like I'm saying, if you maintain your innocence and you know you are certain without a doubt did not do a crime in which you are accused of, maintain it, especially as a black man in this establishment, because we get railroaded through this system all the time. But I already can tell y'all are probably going to go in about this, and rightfully so. I can't wait to see what comments y'all have to see about this, because this is a very interesting case right here. Y'all let me know what y'all think down in the comments. Like, share, subscribe. If you are new, make sure you hit that notification bell. Have it set to all to receive notifications every time I upload a new video or go live.